My people, the Burkina Faso government has just made another bold move. They've completely scrapped visa fees for every African country. That's right. From Cairo to Cape Town, from Dakar to Accra, Africans can now enter Burkina Faso without paying a single cent in visa fees. Now, on the surface, it might sound like a small gesture, but in a continent where borders have divided us more than they've united us, this is huge. This is a symbolic strike for Pan-African unity and a statement of sovereignty. And more importantly, a question to the rest of Africa. When will we finally make free movement our reality? The norm, as opposed to the exception. Now, before we break it down, please do me a favor and subscribe to our channel and tap the notification bell for alert. Also join our membership for exclusives and visit BlackStarsExperience.com to learn more and register for our upcoming conference in New York City. All right, now let's get into it. Hey there! Before we continue with the episode, I want you to quickly pause. Visit BlackStarsExperience.com and sign up for our upcoming conference in New York City this November. This is where leaders, allies, and change makers are coming together to open doors, share opportunities, and push the culture and the community forward. From our eye-opening discussions, expert-led sessions, to a career expo and networking opportunities, if you're serious about your career, your business, your future, you must be in the room. Because this is more than an event. This is a movement. It's about creating pathways for all of us to rise together. November 13th and 14th, New York City. Hey, don't just hear about it later. Be there. Secure your seat at the BlackStars Experience because your future deserves it. All right, now let's get back to the episode. So on September 11th, 2025, the Council of Ministers in Burkina Faso, which is led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, made a historic decision. Abolish visa fees for citizens of all 54 African nations. Now, don't get it twisted. You still need to submit an online visa application before traveling. This is in a completely open border, or so to speak. But the heavy burden, the financial cost, is gone. The government framed this as a push for tourism growth, cultural exchange, boosting Burkina Faso's global visibility, and promoting regional integration. In other words, this is more than paperwork. It's politics, economics, and Pan-African symbolism rolled into one. Now let's zoom out. Burkina Faso today isn't just any country. It's a nation in transition, under military rule since 2022, facing jihadist insurgencies, and really trying to redefine its place in the world. Earlier this year, Burkina Faso, alongside Mali and Niger, shocked West Africa by pulling out of ECOWAS, the regional bloc that's supposed to guarantee free movement, trade, and cooperation. Now, critics said that leaving ECOWAS would isolate them. But here's the plot twist. Instead of closing doors, Burkina Faso is opening them. They're saying, we don't need ECOWAS permission to be Pan-African. We will set the tone ourselves. So why should we care? Well, let me give you 3 reasons. Number 1, the symbolism. Kwame Nkrumah once dreamed of a United States of Africa, one where Africans move as one people. And every visa wall that we tear down chips away at the colonial borders that divided us. Burkina Faso just swung a hammer at that wall. And number 2, economy. Tourism, trade, diaspora travel all depend on movement. Fewer fees means more visitors, more business, more exchanges. And in a country where every dollar counts, this could certainly open new streams of growth. And number 3, diplomacy. By scrapping fees, Burkina Faso is saying to fellow Africans that, listen, we may have left ECOWAS, but our future is still tied to you. That's soft power. That's Pan-African diplomacy in action.
Africans can travel visa-free to Rwanda as the East African nation becomes the latest on the continent to announce such a measure aimed at boosting free movement of people and trade to rival Europe's Schengen zone. Rwanda's President Paul Kagame made the announcement Thursday in Kigali, where he pitched the potential of Africa as a unified tourism destination. Any African can get on a plane to Rwanda whenever they wish, and they will not pay a thing to enter our country, Kagame said during the 23rd Global Summit of the World Travel and Tourism Council. Once implemented, Rwanda will become the fourth African country to remove travel restrictions for Africans. Other countries that have waived visas to African nationals include Gambia, Benin, and Seychelles. Kenya has also mooted the plan, with President William Ruto announcing Monday it will allow all Africans to travel to the East African nation visa-free by December 31. The African Union in 2016 launched an African passport with much fanfare. However, only diplomats and AU officials have been issued the travel document.
Now, Burkina Faso is not the first to make this move. So let's zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture. Seychelles was the trailblazer. For years, it has welcomed all Africans visa-free. No questions asked, no paperwork. Step off the plane and you're in kind of freedom. And Benin followed in 2017, opening its borders to all African nationals without a visa. The Gambia did the same. And then in 2023, Rwanda made headlines when President Paul Kagame announced that every African could enter Rwanda visa-free. No fees, no online pre-approval, just free entry, at least for 30 days. So where does Burkina Faso fit in? Well, here's the difference. Seychelles, Benin, Gambia, and Rwanda went full visa-free. Okay, so you don't need to apply. You don't pay. You just show up. You arrive. But Burkina Faso's new policy removes the fees, but not the requirement. Okay, so Africans will still need to go online, apply, and wait for approval. The wall isn't gone. The toll gate has just been lifted. And let's be real, the context also matters. Rwanda paired its policy with world-class infrastructure, airlines, and a global tourism strategy. Seychelles and Benin are politically stable. Burkina Faso, on the other hand, is battling insurgencies, facing sanctions after leaving ECOWAS, and is ruled by a young, visionary captain, yes, but who came to power through a coup. So while the move is symbolically Pan-African, the practical benefits might not flow as easy. Still, it's a signal, one of resistance and unity, from a country that could have easily turned inward, but instead chose to say that our doors are open to Africa.
The African passport will restore equilibrium in access to continental ports of entry for all African travelers, adding much-needed momentum and symmetry to movement while enhancing the integration agenda of the continent. The Free Movement Protocol, the AFCFTA, and the African Passport form a comprehensive and cohesive structure for continental integration. And while linked, each are political, economic, and social drivers in their own right. The barriers to free movement across the continent are now outweighed by the opportunities and commitment by member states to affirming the interconnectivity of Africa in all spheres and for all its citizens.
Now, here's where it gets deeper. The African Union's Agenda 2063 envisions an African passport and the free movement of people across the continent. But progress has been painfully slow. Burkina Faso is reminding us of something powerful, that we don't have to wait for institutions. Sovereignty means acting now. And think about it for a minute. Colonialism carved up Africa with artificial borders. Today, Africans often find it easier to travel to Europe than to another African country. That's the absurdity Burkina Faso is challenging here. So the question is, will others follow? Imagine if Nigeria, South Africa, or Egypt made the same move. Imagine the chain reaction. A borderless Africa, not just in speeches, but in practice. That could be the real revolution of our generation. So here's what I want to leave you with, my people. Would you travel more within Africa if these barriers were removed? Should other nations scrap visa fees and open their doors like Burkina Faso just did? And to my diaspora family watching, would policies like this make you more likely to visit countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, or Rwanda? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell, and share this with someone who believes in Pan-African unity. Because my people, the dream of a borderless Africa may be much closer than we think. Thank you so much for watching. That's it for today's show. I'm Sandra Babu-Boateng, and until next time, take care. Hey you! Thanks so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and join the family. Also, visit face2faceafrica.com for your daily news and updates on what's going on within the global Black community so you can stay informed.